The Pittsburgh Pirates, a red-hot team coming into this 4th of July weekend, and Brian Wu shut them down. The bullpen was great, and of course the 6 runs coming via the long ball.
A lot of offense, a lot of home runs in yesterday's game for the Mariners, including 2 from Cal Raleigh, our Northwest Chevy Silverado driver of the game. We go back to yesterday. This was truly one of the great home runs you will see hit inside T-Mobile Park. This was home run number 34 to match a single-season career best in the second half of the upper deck for Cal.
This was insane how far this got up into those bleachers. A couple of happy fans not expecting the baseball, but then what about number 35? Bailey Falter tried to challenge him with pretty much the same pitch, fastball middle in, and Cal jumped all over it, got the bat head out for number 35.
Well, this gets just over the wall, so a multi-homer game for Cal Raleigh. Vargas with a nice catch on the bounce with the ball cap. And now Cal Raleigh, a new single-season career-high 35 home runs, and that matches Ken Griffey Jr.'s 1998 first half for the most home runs hit by a Mariner before the All-Star break. So who knows, maybe setting a new milestone here tonight in Game 2. We know this, it's Luis Castillo up on the mound. We'll talk about the Rock and tonight's starting pitching matchup when we come back on Root Sports.
Killer pie right there. Did an excellent job.
Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by UW Medicine, where research gives hope to those in need and creates healthier futures for all. UW Medicine, a higher degree of health care. By T-Mobile, with America's largest 5G network, T-Mobile is your ticket to the game. And by Jack in the Box, get so much more in the new T-Pain Munchie Meal. Beautiful night, 71 degrees as we approach first pitch. Mariners and the Pittsburgh Pirates in Game 2 of a 3-game series. Our Western Washington Toyota Dealers pitching matchup. Mike Burrows, young right-hander, going for Pittsburgh in this one tonight. Meanwhile, the Warrock, Luis Castillo, goes for the Mariners.
Man, he was really good. His last time out against the Texas Rangers, going 6 innings, giving up the 1 run. He threw 40+ pitches through the first couple, but was able to keep that pitch count in check. I think the biggest thing with Luis Castillo, second time through the lineup. Some of the hiccups he's had this year, it's been that 3rd inning, 4th inning, second time through the lineup.
Castillo up on the mound tonight, trying to pitch the Mariners to a series win. And the J.P. Crawford basketball jersey given away here tonight. When we come back, this should be fun. Mariners outfielder Dom Canzone joins us live. Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, home of the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 48 years. And by Emerald Queen Casino, comedian Tom Segura is back for an encore show November 29th at Emerald Queen Casino. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Mariners and the Pirates getting set. We've got the middle game of this 3-game series as we take you down to the field alongside Mariners outfielder Dom Canzone. Jen?
Well, Dom, in the minutes before the game, what are you doing to lock in?
First, I always say a little quick prayer just to thank God for everything that He's given me, and then I'll take a look at my quick little cheat sheet for out there and right, and kind of just lock in and enjoy the moment.
What do you love about the vantage point in right field?
Just take it all in and take all the fans in and be able to appreciate everyone coming out here to support us.
And you're going to be able to watch Luis Castillo tonight. Thank you for your time, Dom.
Canzone has been on quite a roll since being recalled from AAA. Yeah, there's a late seed shower for Dom. Well, we have seen plenty of offense recently by this Mariners lineup, and in particular, Randy Arozarena-Hyphen, who homered yesterday. He is now homered 5 times on this homestand.
Unreal. We know they come in bunches, but I think the most impressive part of this is he's not just on one side of the field. You saw him pull the ball a couple nights ago straight away center field when he hit the 2. And then yesterday, that was a tough pitch well outside the strike zone and able to hit that ball, lift it into right field.
Monster homestand for Arozarena back in there, of course, here tonight. Meanwhile, you were hoping that something would help turn the tide a little bit for Dylan Moore. It has been a really rough stretch, and yesterday he parked one over the fence.
This is good to see. Give him a chance to take a breath after this home run. It's been a tough stretch, but good to see that. You can see that smile starting to creep back on the face of Dylan Moore.
Well, it's always a good thing when Luis Castillo is up on the mound. He and the Mariners have taken the field on a gorgeous night for baseball. Luis Castillo facing the Pirates here tonight in Game 2.
Yeah, I think for Luis Castillo, coming off a really good outing, And just looking back through some of the hiccups he's had this season, it's always been in that third, fourth inning, and that second time through, all of a sudden, hitters are starting to get to him. And you look at the pitch arsenal too, we've seen an uptick in the sliders, not so much the last couple of outings. You see that 20.7% in that slider, a little bit more of the changeup usage. Obviously, it depends on if it's righties and lefties, but man, the four seam has been really good when it's been at the top of the strike zone.
Last time he was on the T-Mobile Park mound, a quality start against the Red Sox. Spencer Horwitz leads things off. First baseman for Don Kelly and the Pirates. Veteran outfielder DHing Andrew McCutchen bats second. Meanwhile, Nick Gonzalez has been so impressive in this series. He bats in the cleanup spot and is at second base. We talk all the time about the glove of Key Brian Hayes. He got a base hit yesterday. Now a 12-game hitting streak for the Pirates third baseman. Behind Castillo tonight, we just heard from Dom Canzone in right field. Julio and Arozarena complete the outfield. Meanwhile, Young and Crawford up the middle with Williamson and Raley on the corners. And Cal Raleigh, the Platinum Glove winner, doing the catching. Last two starts for Luis Castillo coming on the recent road trip. 1 run over 6 his last time out. That was in a Mariners 12-inning win in Arlington against the Rangers. Castillo's first pitch tonight. This is a little bit low for ball 1. Well, the Mariners celebrated July 4th in grand fashion yesterday. A 6-0 shutout win of these Pirates. A little odd for a series to begin with a day game, kind of some opening day vibes in that regard. You think about that game yesterday from the Pirates' perspective. They were coming in flying high. They'd won a season best 6 games in a row. They were coming off 3 straight shutout wins against the St. Louis Cardinals, and it was the Pirates who were shut out yesterday and giving up 6 runs in process. Third base side, foul ground. There is Williamson.
Yeah, you didn't quite know what to expect from this Pirates team. You know they've been red hot, but you hear some of the issues they've had in the beginning of the season. Obviously, firing their manager Don Kelly, taking over, early firing. Obviously, you know, some of the moves they didn't make in the offseason. They've got Paul Skeens, who we're going to see tomorrow. You know, pretty solid rotation, but just nothing really doing. But they have picked it up lately.
McCutchen into foul territory. Raley nearing the wall, and this is into the crowd. And Derek Shelton fired, the skipper for the Pirates, after a 12-26 start. He was let go in May. And Don Kelly taking over. 26-25 under Kelly. The 0-1. You know, the funny thing about that, and you look at the record under Kelly, and this is nothing against Don Kelly. He's gotten rave reviews from everyone we have talked to around the Pirates club. It's hard to imagine any team playing at a worse clip than what the Pirates were doing. Julio is at the wall, and he makes a crashing catch. No fly zone in effect early on, and McCutchen gets a hit taken away by Julio in center field.
And we know how well he covers these gaps here at T-Mobile Park. That is for sure. And this ball was hit hard. And again, remember, this is the first inning, so it's really tough to tell how the ball is going to play because you haven't seen a whole lot of fly balls just yet. He took one look at that wall, knew he had the space, able to get to it.
2 outs for Brian Reynolds. He chops that foul at the plate, 0-1. Yeah, but the Pirates almost seemed like they had to play better under Don Kelly. It's hard to sustain a 12-26 pace. At some point you regress in a good way, or you progress to a much better rate, and the Pirates certainly have. They've had some great pitching recently in particular. 1 ball and 1 strike to Reynolds. Reynolds a switch hitter, veteran outfielder in right field, batting third tonight for Pittsburgh. Reynolds a couple of strikeouts yesterday. Noticeably above league average in terms of punch-outs this year. He shoots that foul.
You see Castillo trying to get to the top of the strikes, and this is a team that has really struggled with the chase on fastballs 95 plus at the top of the strike zone. Luis Castillo, when he is on, he owns that top part of the strike zone.
Buries a breaking ball to run the count full. '25th in baseball in strikeout rate, so among the worst in the majors. A swing and miss this year for the Pirates. Another foul ball. Now Castillo has pitched so well at home in particular this year. His last 2 starts here at T-Mobile Park, quality starts both times, each going 6 innings. He gets a swing and a miss on a fastball down and away, and a 1-2-3 first from Castillo with a little bit of help from his center fielder. J.P. Crawford's riding a 6-game hitting streak. He will lead things off for the Mariners as always. What will Cal Raleigh do tonight? He is leading the majors, 35 home runs, a new career high, a couple of them yesterday, and might we see another home run from Randy Arozarena? 5 so far on this homestand for the Mariners left fielder. Mike Burrows is up on the mound. First pitch, high fly into right field, playable for Reynolds. 1 pitch and 1 away.
You see that fastball 95. He can get up to 97, 98. But he's coming back from Tommy John. He came back from Tommy John surgery last year, made his debut in September. So the Pittsburgh Pirates have been really tentative about pushing him deep into games. And you see the arsenal. The big pitch that stands out is the changeup, 26%, and it is a really plus pitch. You'll see it a bunch to some of these lefties in the lineup.
Now, so much swing and miss on that changeup from Burrows this year. Ball went inside to Julio. And Burrows, a very young pitcher. This was a guy who was in the Futures game just a few years ago, then had Tommy John, was one of the top pitching prospects in the Pirates system at one point. But tonight making only his 8th career major league start. On the ground to first base. Handled there by Horowitz. Quickly 2 outs.
And I think with Mike Burrows too, you look at him going in the draft in 2018, 11th round, but he signed for $500,000 over that slot. And a big reason why is because he was really committed to go to the University of Connecticut, and he kind of said, look, I'm not going to sign out of high school. But the Pirates said, listen, if we take you in that 11th round, we'll give you some extra money. Signed out of high school, and they are excited about him, but just making sure.
High fly ball towards the corner in right field. Reynolds is over there, and it's foul. Allowed strike 1. And Burrows, a Waterford, Connecticut guy. Next home run from Cal Raleigh would be the most by a Mariner before the All-Star break. Tied with Junior. 2 home runs yesterday for Cal Raleigh. On a 1-1. Swing and a miss, a 97 on the upper rail. 1-2. Leading the majors in home runs, tied for the major league lead in RBIs as Cal calls time. You see his WRC plus versus lefties and righties. Overall, it's the 2nd highest number other than Aaron Judge this year in baseball. The 1-2. And that was way up out of the zone, able to foul that away.
Hey, you think about some of the slug. We saw that last year. We've seen 24 from the right side, but on another level this year. There's that changeup. So that really good arm speed.
You can see how off balance it can make guys.
Yeah, for sure.
2 outs and nobody on, a ball and 2 strikes to Cal. Nobody going anywhere when this man is batting right now. Two. Does not go. It's a full count. Along with all the home runs, Cal has walked a ton this year. Just outside the top 10 in walk rate this season in baseball. This will be at least an 8-pitch at bat. Inside, and he draws ball 4. 2-out walk to continue the inning.
I get it too. You can see Mike Burrows before that pitch shaking off because his catcher Joey Butt was going fastball changeup. And this is what it's going to come down to in this second half. Will he get pitched to, especially in the 3-2 count, even though it's the first inning?
Mariners hovering right around the midway point in terms of strikeout rate as a team this year. Great improvement from last year. Arozarena homered yesterday. He has homered in 4 of 5 games on this homestand. Well, the Mariners played plenty of long ball in yesterday's game. 4 home runs in total, 2 by Cal, 1 from Arozarena, the other from Dylan Moore.
And it makes it so much tougher to pitch around Cal when you have Randy hitting the way he is right now.
2-1. You know, the wild thing about Arozarena, when this homestand began, he had 8 home runs this year. He's hit 5 since the start of the homestand. Big chopper foul over by third base. 2-2. Randy now the second most home runs, trailing of course Cal Raleigh. Two outs and a runner at first base. A knee buckler, and it rings up Arozarena. Strike 3 called. Cal Raleigh's walk is stranded after an inning. We're scoreless. Tonight's PIMCO Insurance Run Prevention Plan. Well, this year has been a tough road for the Pirates. They have now been shut out 11 times this year, including yesterday's 6-0 shutout loss to the Mariners. They've been shut out more than any team in baseball now. They're looking for some answers offensively. Now, the all-time major league record, by the way, they have a ways to go. The 1908 St. Louis Cardinals.
Sorry, what you say?
1908. They were shut out 33 times en route to a 49-105 season. Now, the wild thing is that they have been shut out, part of a shutout, I should say, now in double digits. And you look at that before the All-Star break, the last 50 years, you know, it's a short list to be on one side of the coin or the other. Strike 3 called. Nick Gonzalez has been a very good hitter for the Pirates since coming off the injured list. He goes down on strikes.
We talked about some of the early season struggles with this team. There's some expectations coming into this too. Obviously, Paul Skeens, the top of that rotation. Mitch Keller, Jared Jones, Bailey Falter, Andrew Heaney. So they had that rock solid pitching, but just offensively, just not doing anything really in the offseason.
Ball 1-2 O'Neal Cruz. You look at the Pirates coming into today, they are 38-51. They are 15 games outside of first place where the Cubs are. Cruz a very good runner as Castillo flips that out of the glove, and Cruz is out number 2.
A nice little play right here, and obviously you got to speed up a little bit, but Luis Castillo had plenty of time. Nice little smirk. That's tougher than it looks, Goldie, let me tell you. Flipping that ball, maybe it's just me, I don't know. Struggle with it.
I can understand that.
Launch that thing over Luke Raley's head.
Key Brian Hayes, a soft chopper, not an easy play. Young right there in time. And Hayes ends up being out pretty easily. Decides that down in order pretty quickly by Castillo in the second. Well, the next Mariners fireworks show is coming up soon. Don't miss 80s fireworks night on July 18th, presented by T-Mobile and Warm 106.9. The Astros are in town. Mariners.com/fireworks to get your tickets. First pitch curve to Jorge Polanco, celebrating his 32nd birthday today.
Happy birthday.
And Polo coming off a big game his last time in the starting lineup. That was on Thursday. 3 extra base hits, including a homer. That was against Kansas City. Polanco getting close to a pretty nice milestone, 998 career hits. Knocking on the door of 1,000. Two and two. Fly ball into right field. Reynolds is on the track in the corner with enough room. It's out number 1, but I'll tell you what, Ryan, it's been nice to see Polanco be able to get the ball in the air more as of late.
Yeah, I mean, we know about the struggles in the month of May. Don't really have to revisit that, but you look at the drop off. Obviously, April he was scorching hot. But yeah, you mentioned just all those ground balls, one of the highest ground ball percentages in the game in the month of May. But yeah, the other night refreshing, man, to see him get that ball on the pull side in the air.
Raley with Hayes playing back, challenging the Gold Glover. Bare hand play. Raley is safe, and the ball gets thrown away, but he'll hold it first. A daring bunt against a guy like Hayes, and it works out for Luke Raley.
All right. And we know about the speed. Luke being a bigger dude getting down that line. It wasn't like Hayes was pulled way up the line or anything like that. Challenge him a little bit. I've talked to Luke Raley about that when he was in high school. He said he was undersized. I looked at him and I said, it's kind of hard to picture you being undersized because he's such a, especially standing next to you, such a big dude. But he said he was undersized, but he could run. He thought that's how he was going to profile and being able to have some speed. And then he got bigger and bigger, but he never lost that speed.
Hayes is simply one of the best in the game over there at third base. Among Major League third baseman, leading in defensive runs saved against a couple of really notable third basemen in Chapman and Arenado. Canzone takes outside. Speaking of Nolan Arenado, he had an incredible run of winning 10 consecutive Gold Gloves to start his career, and it was Ke'Bryan Hayes who ended that streak from Nolan Arenado. Swing and a miss, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And when Hayes won the Gold Glove a couple of years ago, that ended that run of 10 in a row for Nolan Arenado, which was tied with Ichiro for the most consecutive Gold Gloves to begin a career. Chops and misses at it, and there is out number 2, second strikeout for Burrows.
You can see why the Pirates are so high on Mike Burrows and making sure they don't push him too hard. Obviously, some high pitch counts. That changeup is really good. Plus, he can spin that breaking ball. We saw that first breaking ball to Polanco up around 3,000 RPM on that bigger breaking ball. Not to mention 96, 97 on the hitter as well.
Two outs and a man on for Ben Williamson. Oh, and 2. Counter Falefa, the shortstop, a little flip, and Raley is out at second base. A man left, 2 complete, no score. Favorite salmon racers, Sockeye, King, Humpy, and Silver are officially making their bobble debuts. Don't miss your chance to score this collectible with the Salmon Run ticket special. July 23rd. Tickets available only at mariners.com/Salmon Run Day. Ball 1-2. Tommy Pham was not in the lineup yesterday. And left field tonight in game 2. I love the Tommy Phams of Major League Baseball.
Absolutely.
And here's
you're talking what that clubhouse presence.
Like the guys, he was a 16th round draft pick out of high school in Las Vegas.
Oh, I thought you're going the direction of the guys who go to those teams and the trade deadline, the sort of like the Johnny Gomes type. But you're talking more on the fact that the long shot.
Yes, I mean this is you don't see too many high schoolers drafted in the 16th round who end up signing and then going on to having a nearly decade and a half big league career.
Yeah.
Pham's got over 1,000 hits in his career. He's bounced around a little bit in recent years, but it's pretty impressive when you see kind of where he came from to the kind of career he has had.
For sure.
Joey Bart is batting.
Yeah, it is tough, man. I mean, I remember kicking off my career in Arizona in rookie ball with a bunch of 18-year-old kids out, kids out of high school, and there's just so much unpredictability. Obviously for the team looking at the player, but on the flip side as well, in regards to the direction you're going, it's so tough to get just to get to the big leagues, let alone what Tommy Pham's been able to do and make a career out of it.
It's the classic example of getting there is the easy part, sticking around is the hard part, right?
Absolutely.
Obviously neither is actually easy, but to carve out a career that's over a decade long is a slim to none. 1-2. Swing and a miss. 97 out of the arm of Luis Castillo. His 3rd strikeout already.
Now pitch count's in good shape here with 27 pitches with 2 outs here in the 3rd, but we're talking about him getting to the top of the strike zone. Velocity is good. The swing and miss is up a little bit in the month of June, especially the last couple of outings. All but 1 strikeout. The last time out was that fastball upper part of the strike zone, so he's in a good spot right now.
Strike 1-2. Veteran infielder Isaiah Counter Falefa batting 9th. Just kind of flicks the bat at this one, pulls it down the line, and a foul ball. Looked like he was way out in front, and that ball really carried. Counter Falefa just 1 home run on the year. Certainly not a power guy. Very much a contact hitter.
A lot of contact on the ground too. The highest ground ball rate, 57% against righties. There it is.
On cue, Crawford charges, hip high. Now this has been a very easy breezy start for Luis Castillo. 9 up and 9 down. T-Mobile coverage cam. Rookie second baseman Cole Young, a Pirates fan growing up, making a nice play earlier tonight.
Yeah, we're seeing more and more of this from Cole Young. No time to make that, set those feet, make that throw, but we've been seeing more and more of that range. He's starting to loosen up a little bit here at the major league level.
Well, Cole Young is a Pennsylvania guy. Grew up just outside of downtown Pittsburgh. In high school, he played in the WPIAL, which is the Western Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic League. You're a big fan, Hyphen.
I was asked to play in that too.
He rolls over this one. There is out number 1. I bring this up for a reason. Cole Young this year became the 2nd fastest WPIAL player to reach the majors, trailing only Tim Conroy, who was the 20th overall pick by the Athletics in 1978 out of Gateway High School in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Here is J.P. Crawford with 1 out. Conroy pitched his final high school game on May 26th of 1978. And on June 23rd, just under 2 months later, he made his major league debut. This is into the corner and a fair ball. J.P. Crawford just sneaks that in fair. It hops over the fence. It's a ground rule double, and the Mariners have a runner in scoring position for the first time early on tonight.
Again, JP just wearing out left field with that contact. High contact rate, we usually see that, especially as he gets deeper into the count.
And just got that in. A baseball's width inside the line. Here's Julio with 1 out and a runner at second. Hyphen, less than 2 months after Conroy was drafted in the first round, he made his major league debut. He was the starting pitcher against the Kansas City Royals and George Brett.
Oh, wow.
He went
Unreal.
3 1/3 innings and allowed a run. Can you believe that?
That's wild.
From a high school field to the big leagues,
Yeah.
to facing a future Hall of Famer.
What were you doing months after you graduated?
Now the thing was, obviously the question is, well, why on earth did this happen? It was simply a publicity stunt by the Athletics. That's all it was. And their owner, Charlie Finley, he was simply trying to drum up some attention for his team. On the ground to second base. Kind of Falefa, 2 outs. Finley was the same guy who experimented with orange baseballs in exhibition games to try to draw some more fan interest. So I don't know if that was the best thing for Tim Conroy's career, but
So, what kind of career did Conroy end up?
not very long,
Okay.
as it turns out.
Now, where did you get this information from, by the way? This is a deep cut right here.
I have sources. They're putting Cal on. First base is open. He walked for the second time, the first time intentionally tonight. And the crowd is not happy with Don Kelly's decision there.
I mean, it makes sense. I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised he's still getting pitched to the way he is. Obviously, Mike Burrows, that first at bat, 3-2, was out of the strike zone, but now you got to deal with this man.
Ball 1 to Arozarena. Randy struck out looking his last time up. Two outs and 2 on. Randy 8 for 19, batting over .420 on this homestand. Ahead 2-1. Crawford at second, Raleigh at first. Three balls and 1 strike. Here it comes. This is lashed but pulled foul. Man, that was smoked.
I'll tell you one thing, Randy, obviously we've been seeing hard hit rates pretty much all year, but getting to that plus velocity, especially at the top of the strike zone, has been the real difference really in the month of June and here lately. See if he challenges in here again with a fastball middle of the plate.
2 on, 2 out on a 3-2. Oh, that is not a good call. Arozarena rung up on ball 4.
Welcome back back to the Ford Sports Desk. I'm Jen Mueller, and the matchup that everyone in baseball is watching tomorrow, it is going to be right here at T-Mobile Park. It is George Kirby against Paul Skeens, and it is a juicy matchup. But guys, if you look a little further ahead in the schedule, and if you notice that Tarek Skubal is throwing for Detroit tomorrow, the Mariners head to Detroit after New York. The Mariners have an off day on Monday. Detroit has an off day on Thursday. It is quite possible that we will see George Kirby and Tarek Skubal on Saturday. An equally juicy matchup to tomorrow. How about that?
Yeah, reigning American League Cy Young Award winner.
How about that? Get some Skeens and straight into Tarek Skubal. I'm trying to think who matched up against. Oh, Luis Castillo. That's right. Matched up against Tarek Skubal at the beginning of the season. Is that right?
Yeah, Mariners saw him back in April. Opening homestand as Horwitz gets the first hit tonight. First base runner for the Pirates.
That's the sinker just out over the plate. Again, this is what I was talking about in the open. Second time through the lineup for Luis Castillo in some of these games where he's had some issues trying to avoid that big inning.
That snaps the first 9 in a row sat down by Castillo. He's been very efficient to add to that. Ball 1 to Andrew McCutchen.
If you go back to some of the outings more so lately from Luis Castillo, the teams that have gotten him in those middle innings, the Angels, Twins, throw the Astros in there, Toronto, he's been in that 3rd, 4th, and 5th inning.
Does not go. 2 balls and a strike. A very awkward looking swing and a miss on that two-seamer that really ran in on McCutchen. That fastball's had great life to it tonight from Castillo. Nobody out, a man aboard. 2-2. Really giving this a look.
Andrew McCutchen's been pulling the ball a ton this year, way more than what he has, what we've seen throughout his career. So you gotta be careful if you go slider down the way, you gotta expand the zone because he can get to that pitch pulling the left field.
McCutchen back with the team that he first broke in with. Former first-round draft pick, nearly had a 200-hit season for the Pirates back in 2012. The following year, he won the MVP. 2-2. Swing and a miss. 97, bearing in on his knuckles. That's a big strikeout from Luis Castillo. That fastball is running.
I love it. The fact he's going back inside with that heater. There's been times with Luis Castillo where he decides to go slider down the way away from that challenge area. Good pitch right there to McCutchen. Tied him up.
1 out, 1 on. Here's Reynolds. Ties him up with a back foot slider. Some days the ball just moves more.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Luis Castillo, we've talked a lot about mechanically the way he throws. He's kind of side to side. He can land that front foot and then everything just goes after it. Then all of a sudden it creates so much movement. Remember that game in Chicago when that ball was just running in on hands? But there's times where there's a little bit of a timing and sequencing issue, and you can kind of he can get underneath that ball a little bit. He's dialed in tonight, that's for sure.
Nothing at 2 on Reynolds. Struck out looking his last at bat. Struck out swinging, I should say. Castillo working around his first base runner tonight. Takes a peek over at Horowitz at first base. Good hitter Nick Gonzalez on deck. He got him. Disappearing slider. Back-to-back strikeouts for Castillo. Whether you're celebrating a graduation or gathering with family and friends, the Mariners Suite is the perfect place to host your crew this summer. Enjoy first-class catering, VIP entry, and parking. Reserve your suite at mariners.com/suites. Back-to-back punch-outs following that single. Here's Gonzalez. Jackknifes him at 96, ball one. Gonzalez was in the opening day lineup for the Pirates this year, but was dealing with a foot injury. He fouled a ball off of his ankle in spring training. Nevertheless, broke camp with the big league club. Played on opening day and then had to go on the injured list prior to game 2 because of a fracture in his left ankle. Did not come back until June. Pirates happy to have his bat back in the lineup. Weak hit ground ball. Young over to first. Gonzalez is out. A man is left stranded. We go to the bottom of the 4th. A scoreless tie. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by PIMCO Mutual Insurance. PIMCO empowers you with prevention tips that help you worry less and live more. PIMCO, for the love of prevention. And by the Washington Traffic Safety Commission, always drive sober and wear your seatbelt. We all play a role in keeping our roads safe. Now this is what Supermo is meant for.
That's right. Got him. He's got the headphones on, glasses.
Polanco leads things off. Silver, your winner today. Polanco, a deep fly ball out his last time up.
Goldie, you old enough for a discman?
Oh, yeah, well, easy now. Yes, I am.
Discman. Okay. Walkman?
Yes. I think that's where it all started, right?
Yes. Cassette, a little cassette player. Batteries would go low and start slowing down on you.
See, I went Walkman, Discman.
Oh, so you did go Walkman. You're
Walkman, Discman, okay. And then I was in the this is a very short time frame. I'm willing to bet that not many people watching right now are familiar with this, or had one at least, as Polanco goes down. How about the mini disc? Let's go.
Hang on. So you invested in a mini disc.
Do you know what a mini disc is?
I never went there. I know what it is. I never went there with it. It was one of those ones that was like, the next step, but it didn't really catch on, right? Like
no,
it
it
hung
didn't.
out for a little bit.
Well, because it.
But of course, yeah. Of course
MP3s came.
That's right. That's right.
On the grand scheme of things, early on of the runway of the mini disc. When my broadcast career began, I recorded my games in independent league baseball on a mini disc.
Really?
Player. Yeah.
You'd walk around town and put your headphones on, listen to yourself.
And swing and a miss. Yeah, exactly. How did you know all of that so well? One ball and one strike. Mini disc was amazing.
I really wanted to get one of those, but I remember there wasn't the range of music. You'd go buy the CDs. There weren't enough of the mini discs.
Well,
my favorite artist. That's why I was like, I don't know if I want to invest in this.
That's off the knob of the bat, fouled away. Yeah, the trick with the mini disc was that this was in the Napster era.
Okay.
Right. Those two things kind of coincided, and so it was you rip all of your music, and then the mini disc could hold so much more than a CD.
That's right.
And was so much more compact.
Yes.
Even more than the compact
skip
disc, and it didn't skip.
Well, maybe it did. I don't know. I'll have to fact check me on that one.
Back-to-back strikeouts for the Mariners here in the 4th.
Ian Burrows, we talked about 3+ pitches, or 4 actually. Big breaking ball, big spin and break ball, the plus changeup, and then 96, 97 to go along with it.
Here is Canzone. High and outside for ball one. So 3 straight strikeouts for Burrows dating back to the 3rd inning. Whiffs on a changeup. Canzone's really been swinging it well. 5 home runs since the start of the last road trip, I should say. This is plugged deep out to the gap in right center field. Canzone tags it, and it's off the wall. Here comes the throw from Cruz. It's quick, and Canzone nonetheless is in there with a slide safe. 2-out double.
And we're seeing more and more of this at a much higher rate from Dominic Canzone, especially with 2 strikes. This is a 1-1 count. I chatted to him before the game. He said he got so caught up in trying to lift the ball, hit for power. Yeah, he's smelling that double right here. But he just got back when he went back down to AAA after getting sent down. He said, you know, I'm just going to try and hit balls on the line all over the place. That's what got me to the big leagues.
Williamson in the air to right field. Reynolds is underneath it, and that 2-out double is stranded. Mariners and the Pirates scoreless after 4 innings. Mariners Kid Run the Bases is on deck. You can bring your kids out to the ball game for a very fun post-game experience tomorrow after the Mariners and the Pirates play at 1:10. Mariners.com/tickets. Here's O'Neal Cruz. Popped up out of play and foul. Castillo has faced just 1 over the minimum through the first 4 innings. Swing and a miss. Whiffs on a changeup. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Only Ohtani and Schwarber with a higher hard hit rate this year in baseball. This is the percentage of balls they put in play that are at 95 miles an hour or greater off the bat. Pretty good company. James Wood will be in the home run derby this year, we just recently learned. Mariners saw him not all that long ago here, and if we didn't know already, we know why he will be in the home run derby. He's remarkable. A lot of strikeouts for Cruz this year on a 2-2. Hit hard on the ground over to Young. That was 114 off the bat, but it was on the ground right at somebody, so the Mariners able to turn that into an out. You look at the numbers this year for Luis Castillo, they're good overall. They are especially good at home. A 2.60 home ERA, an opposing batting average under 200. In fact, his home batting average is about 100 points lower than his road batting average. Here is Ke'Bryan Hayes. Now we know T-Mobile Park is obviously a very pitcher-friendly ballpark, but there has to be something beyond that. There's some familiarity, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, you mentioned some of the splits, and they are drastic, but I think too, there's just some routine that goes on when you're at home, like simple things, right? Like, for example, you know, you can drive to the ballpark on your time. It's not a situation where you're getting on a team bus. You're not sleeping in a hotel room. You can get, you know, the food you want to eat or whatever it may be. I know it sounds simple, but you get here and you just have that familiarity feel to, you know what, I've had success here. And it just makes all the difference. Whereas opposed to, and look, some guys are different. Some guys on the road are better off because they don't have the distractions.
Well, he just threw one right down the chute at 97 and froze Ke'Bryan Hayes. That's the 6th strikeout for Castillo.
Again, with that fastball too, just live in middle, upper part of the strike zone.
There's predictability at home.
Yeah, absolutely, and also too, look, this is going to sound crazy, but every mound feels a little bit different too, right? And you know, there's times too where you can talk to the ground crew. I'm not saying Luis Castillo does this, but for me, I remember there was one game early on in my career where it felt kind of soft, and I remember talking to the ground crew. They said, hey, they noticed me like looking at it, like kicking my feet around. They said, hey, everything all good with the mound. I said, no, I just felt a little bit soft. Sure enough, next time I went out there, and it was, you know, rock hard, and it was just so stable, and I was like, man. And so there is a little bit of that difference, and obviously the visual behind the catcher and everything else, but like I said, it's not always the case though. It's different for everyone.
That's where the nickname high maintenance hyphen came from, right?
Yeah,
that's where it was born, that day for the ground crew.
Exactly. I said to him the next day, I said, hey, listen, the mound was unreal. I'm not trying to act like a diva here, but hey, I appreciate it.
A swing and a miss, 2-2. Yeah, well, that name didn't stick after all, but I can see why they would say it. But that is a perk of being at home.
Yes. Yeah. Just that familiarity makes a huge difference sometimes.
I guess you better hope that you like your home mound, huh?
100%. And again, like I said, there are some guys like, man, that had a year, and they don't want to talk about why they're playing, but when they get done playing, they had a year at a certain ballpark, they're like, man, I just struggled in that ballpark for whatever reason.
Two. In play, right field. Canzone is under it. Round number 3. Luis Castillo has been in the rocking chair through 5 innings. Dominant stuff today so far. Our T-Mobile coverage cam. Another nice play by Mariners second baseman Cole Young.
Tell you what, this young man is all over the coverage cam, especially tonight. Coming in on that ball. We talked so much about Ben Williamson, how aggressive he is on the ball coming in. Cole Young showing off that glove too.
It is Cole Young to lead things off. Scoreless tie beginning the bottom of the 5th inning. Upstairs ball 1. You think about tonight's game in relation to winning this series, and obviously if you win tonight, you secure a series win, you have a chance for a sweep tomorrow. I think it goes without saying that this is one you want to get.
Yeah.
You do have Kirby going on your side tomorrow. They, however, have Paul Skeens on the other. So you win today and you are on house money tomorrow. Hayes into foul territory.
Well, let's not forget too, the last time the Mariners saw Paul Skeens in Pittsburgh, they got to him. Some of those good counts, 2-0, 2-1s.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He does have an ERA after all. 1:10 tomorrow. Our first pitch. Pregame coverage begins at 12:30. Kids run the bases afterwards. Kirby versus Skeens.
And I've said this a couple times on air. Look, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I was excited when I saw the fact he was going to be pitching on Sunday. And again, look, the Mariners have done really good things against staff aces. We've seen that all year long.
Oh, he is one of the faces of baseball right now, Paul Skeens, and one of the most dominant pitchers in the game. 1-1. If JP or Julio, who stands on deck, reaches, Cal Raleigh can bat this inning. 2-2. Meanwhile, Burroughs has pitched very well tonight. 5 strikeouts. Has been able to strand a couple of doubles at second base tonight. Hit hard on the ground. Backhand play by Horwitz. Burrows fields and covers. There is out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. That brings up Julio. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts or descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Julio 0 for 2, a couple of ground ball outs.
Now keep in mind too, Burrows has only gone into the 6th inning twice. He's at 64 pitches. One philosophy with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and this goes into their development. There's been so much of a shake-up with the, obviously firing their manager and trying to figure out what the philosophy is, but they're not big with their guys facing the lineup for the 3rd time through. Obviously with Paul Skeens, he's the exception. But I mean, even down in the minor leagues, they're seldom, some of these pitchers getting a chance to see these hitters 3rd time through. So it'll be interesting to see how they work this with that bullpen, but he has been good tonight.
Yeah, Burrows has not gone more than 5 1/3. He has not thrown more than 88 pitches in any single start. 3-0. Taking all the way a strike. If Julio reaches, Cal bats next.
You look at it coming into this game, he's only faced hitters 3rd time through 15 times this season.
That is down for ball 4, and it brings Cal Raleigh to the plate. 2-out walk, a rare walk from Julio. That's good to see.
Okay, I saw plenty of pitches already against Mike Burrows. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Remember the fact he's only gone this deep into the game only a handful of times, so he might be starting to fade a little bit. He's got 2 outs. I think Cal's going to get a pitch he can handle here early in this at bat.
Now nobody's leaving to get popcorn right now. The next home run from Cal Raleigh will be number 36. It will be the most ever by a Mariner before the All-Star break. He is approaching Barry Bonds' all-time record of 39 before the All-Star break. 2 outs, Julio at first. First pitch to Cal. He swings and misses. First pitch changeup.
Not the best location, but that changeup is tough. The back and forth. He's going to get a couple of these in that at bat. If he gets another hanging changeup, see if he can do something with it.
Cal behind 0-2. Trailing only Aaron Judge in OPS, ahead of Ohtani. Two outs, Julio at first. Nothing, bottom of the 5th. Here's the 0-2. Two home runs yesterday for Cal. Mariners trying to take the lead here in this 5th inning. They got the right guy at the plate for it.
Man, sitting on that heater right there. He's trying to get back and forth in on the hands. Joey Bott's looking at the dugout right now, just making sure it's situation. Look, if you're going to throw that pitch, it's going to be outside the strike zone. Let me get back to that changeup right here.
The 1-2. Next pitch to Cal. Julio off with the pitch. An 8-pitch walk for Cal his first time up. Intentionally walked his last time at the plate. This will be the 7th pitch of this at bat. Two. It is remarkable how quiet this ballpark
Yeah.
has gotten when Cal Raleigh is batting. Full count. Another long at bat.
Yeah, it's a lonely feeling if you're Burrows right now, because Cal Raleigh is recognizing that changeup so well. So all of a sudden now you can get to that point where if you Cal, you can eliminate that pitch. See something middle up here.
He now calls timeout. He's had that in his back pocket this whole time. This will be the 9th pitch coming. And now Bart's on his way out.
We go back to that first at bat and that 3-2 pitch. Burrows kept shaking. He was second guessing everything that Joey Bart was throwing down there. So similar situation right here where we talked about him not biting at that changeup. And Joey Bart's, you have to remind him, look, if you are going to get on the attack, something middle up, it's going to be outside the strike zone here.
Julio at first, 2 outs. 3-2. Way outside. Cal walks for the 3rd time. A 9-pitch walk.
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much just ran out of options right there in that at bat, especially with some of those healthy swings he took on the fastball and the recognition of that changeup. Really nowhere to go. See if Randy can make him pay right here.
Was on the corner, ruled ball 1 to Arozarena. Lefty Caleb Ferguson getting loose. I mentioned earlier that 88 pitches is the high watermark this year for Burrows. Now at 80 after that offering. Polanco due up next.
Yeah, some of these high stress pitches, especially that last at bat in the Cal, starting to fade a little bit.
The 2-0. Drops it in for a strike. Mariners trying to cash in. 2 outs and 2 on. Julio on his way to 3rd, and he waltzes in there standing. 15th stolen base for Julio.
Now we saw this during the Cal at bat too, and this time just getting that extra step. No issues whatsoever with Burrows paying no attention to him at second base.
Randy has been red hot. Has a 3-1 count. Runners on the corners. 2 down. On the corner for a strike. Now Randy struck out looking his last at bat on a pitch that was well off the plate. That one was on the edge. Here's a 3-2. And on the hands, and he pulls it foul. That was in, well in off.
Yeah. Still able to pull that ball.
Now you get the feeling this is going to be the end of the road for Burrows one way or the other. Next pitch will be the 29th this inning. Strike three called. A changeup up in the zone. Now Rosarena strikes out looking, and the Mariners strand him on the corners, and Burrows wiggles off the hook.
The Pirates' High A affiliate making history last night, the Greensboro Grasshoppers. 3 pitchers combined to throw a perfect game, and after the game, they signed a baseball to give to catcher Derek Berg. Now, this story gets even better because Berg is a graduate of West Point. So to have a perfect game, to be behind the plate on July 4th, well, you just have all the feels. Now, Berg has deferred his military service until after his baseball career is done. He is the highest drafted player out of West Point since the Mariners selected Nick Hill, a left-handed pitcher, in 2007. Aaron?
Man, how about all that? Wow. A combined perfect game. There has never been a combined perfect game in the major leagues. Here's Joey Bart leading things off. And the Rays came close to one back in the summer of 2019. And a former Mariner was part of that. Ryan Stanek was the opener. Ryan Yarborough worked 6 1/3. But the Orioles collected a leadoff base hit to begin the 9th inning, and the combined perfecto was no more. That's as close as it has gotten in recent years. Bart drills this out to center. Julio tracking it right there.
I'll tell you what, Luis Castillo's been absolute control of this one. Really no high stress pitches at all here in the 6th inning. 69 pitches deep. Really good shape. Just the one hit.
He's been cruising. Here is Kiner Falefa. Kiner Falefa, a native of Honolulu. Former 4th-round draft pick by the Rangers. It's kind of wild, his career path. He was a catcher in the minors and even caught parts of his first 2 big league seasons for the Rangers.
That's right.
And would then go on to win a Gold Glove at 3rd base, and now is at shortstop for the Pirates. He's played shortstop the last few years for a variety of clubs, both the Yankees and the Blue Jays as well. Pretty athletic guy.
Pretty cool last name too.
I saw him coming over and just, I mean, it was like when people see Ichiro for the first time.
True, that's true.
Kiner Falefa saw Ryan Rowland-Smith.
That's right. Yeah,
you were the trailblazer for all of us. 2-2. Pulls this foul.
Said Mr. Rowland-Smith, it is an honor.
Thank you for being the first, Ryan.
Yeah, there could be some people out there thinking to themselves, what are they talking about? Yes, I'm talking about the fact he's got a hyphen in his name. There's only a handful of us.
To his counterpart, Crawford. 2 outs. Now, there was a time where, am I remembering this correctly, that the first 3 hyphenated ball players were all in the ballpark together?
That was, yeah, myself, him
and Austin Bibbins-Dirk?
Correct, yeah. And you know what's funny about that? I went over there with the Rangers. I went over there, and I can't remember who it was. They wanted to do some special thing, you know. And I'm sitting there going, do these 2 guys really care about talking about this little anecdote? But it's a fun conversation.
Horwitz gets his 2nd hit. He pulls a single into right field. So now, do you remember, was Bibbins-Dirk 2nd and Kiner Falefa 3rd?
Yes.
Okay, so he was the. So in the building right now is the 1st and 3rd ever hyphenated names in baseball history. I mean, I knew there was a tingle in the ballpark tonight.
Pretty amazing, yeah. You see this crowd?
I thought it was Cal Raleigh, but little did I know it was about the nameplates. There's McCutchen. Ball 1, fastball up. 6 strikeouts tonight for Castillo. 7 is his season high. It's the go-ahead run at first base. This is lashed to Arozarena in left field, and he makes the catch. Can't hit it much harder, but he's out number 3. 6 scoreless in the bank from the Rock. Muckleshoot Casino Resort Pen Report. We're looking at most innings out of the Mariners bullpen this year. Edward Pizarro leading the charge for the M's. The 3rd most innings, in fact, in the majors. He has been used in just about every situation, it feels like. Pizarro probably down tonight. He has worked back-to-back games.
First 2 names on that list have been called on so many times this year and covering multiple innings. Pizarro.
Lefty Caleb Ferguson is on the pitch. Polanco swings around and bats right-handed. Ferguson's been a leverage reliever this year for the Pirates.
Switch Polanco around to the right side, but yeah, for Caleb Ferguson, a lot of soft contact on the ground. Having a really good year.
I mean, he's made almost 40 appearances. He has not given up a home run. Trying to slow down, but he goes around. There is strike 2.
That pitch has been so tough against righties and lefties.
Hit on a line, fair. That zips into the corner. Polanco is into second base, and the Mariners have the go-ahead run in scoring position to begin the 6th inning.
All right on cue, Jorge Polanco, some hard contact, and from the right side as well. That slurve just staying up in the middle of the strike zone. I'm going to rip that ball into left field.
Left on left for Luke Raley. Trying to find a way, if nothing else, to move that runner. Just 19 plate appearances this year against lefties. Broken back, ground ball. He does move Polanco, so productive out. Raley out number 1. And Polanco now at third base.
And you'll take it too. You talked about the lack of at-bats he's had against lefties. This is such a tough pitch. Left on left, fastball in on the hands. Able to keep this ball in play. Broken bat, yes, but doing the job, getting a run over the third base.
Ken Wilson goes to his bench and calls on Donovan Solano. He bats for Canzone. Joey Bart out to have a little scouting report chat on Solano. So Canzone's night is over. He goes 1 for 2 with a double. Now the infield comes in now. Fly ball can give the Mariners the lead. One out, go ahead run at third base. Inside, ball 1.
This is kind of the thought coming into spring training for Donovan Solano to be that either platoon or pinch hitter. There's a lefty, but struggled against lefties this year, 182. A lot of that in early month of April. He's seen the ball much better of late.
Polanco will lead at third base on a 2-0. Takes a strike. Pulled foul, 2-2. Christopher Negron getting out of the way of that foul ball. First time the Mariners make it the second time the Mariners have had a runner at third tonight. Trying to cash in here in the 6th inning. On a 2-2. Full count. Williamson to bat next. Next pitch to Solano. Just got a piece to stay alive. Another 3-2. Another foul ball. Fastball over the plate. Now Solano really has been seeing it well recently, batting .375 his last 18 games. With 3 home runs in that stretch. Lengthy at bat here. It's a .970 OPS for Solano in nearly 20 games. On the ground, Hayes has it come right to him. That's not where you wanted to hit it. 2 down.
That's tough too. And look, Caleb Ferguson, I think he's been so good at this year is that fastball in late in the count. We saw that. Then you got to protect against this slurve right here. So Donovan Solano, look, pretty good swing on that ball, but to the wrong guy.
Gold Glover Ke'Bryan Hayes. So 2 down, runner at third base now for Ben Williamson. And field retreats now. The 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Ferguson, first man out of the Pirates bullpen. Burrows 5 scoreless. 3 balls, no strikes. So back-to-back 3-ball counts for Ferguson. On a 3-0. Taking a strike.
And this is a big at bat too for Ben Williamson. 3-1 because you got Cole Young on deck. JP after that. Caleb Ferguson's been so tough against lefties. A good count right here. 3-1. Get something out of the middle of the plate.
Into right field for a base hit. Ben Williamson splits the gap, rolls to the base of the wall, and he has given the Mariners a 6th inning lead. The rookie comes through with 2 outs and a man at third.
And this is huge. First of all, you don't want to squander this opportunity when you got a runner in scoring position with less than 2 out. And then all of a sudden you got 2 outs and then a 3-1 count with a couple lefties on deck. And a tough pitch to do that too as well. We know about Ben Williamson shooting that ball to right center field, but Caleb Ferguson is going to work him in with that slurve and that fastball and keep his hands inside that ball and shooting to right field. Huge at bat right there.
Tough left on left here for Cole Young. And hit him. He got drilled on the first pitch. Young is aboard.
Again, trying to go in. Cole Young just inside part of that elbow.
Turns the lineup card over. 20 pitches for Ferguson. First pitch to JP. Slow bender in there. The slurve. Inside the Pirates bullpen. Isaac Mattson now beginning to warm up. You've got the right-handed bat of Julio due up next. Way high.
Yeah, Caleb Ferguson looks rattled right here. I know there's 2 outs, but you know, Mattson just got loose too, so it looks like he will face Julio, and then Mattson will essentially be there ready for Cal Raleigh.
2 outs and 2 on, a run in already. Looking for more. Lays off. Crawford ahead. JP holding his own this year against lefties. Another 3-ball count for Ferguson. Williamson at second, Young at first. 2 down. The 3-1. Fouled back to the glove, full count.
And JP getting his ace swing off right there. Paying attention to some of the at-bats prior to this. Luke Raley being a part of that as well. Knowing that he's going to get fastball in these kind of counts and something middle in. Let's see if he gets back to that breaking ball and slap that ball in that left center field gap.
Way outside. Bases are loaded now.
I think that's going to be it for Caleb Ferguson. And it will be.
Now the Mariners have a chance to really open this one up. Mattson is coming on to face Julio. 2 out, bags packed, and a 1-0 Mariners lead. Leading 1-0 and looking to add on to that here at the bottom of the 6th inning with the bases loaded. Well, the Mariners begin the second half of the season hosting the Astros. They will be here July 18th to the 20th. Mariners.com/tickets. Now the Mariners have him loaded up for Julio. Cal is on deck. And Isaac Mattson, 29-year-old reliever, is up on the mound.
And he's held opponents scoreless 11 of the last 12 outings, 15 2/3, 1.62 ERA on the season.
Runners all around, 2 outs for Julio. Outside.
Let's see what he's done against righties too. 0.65 against him.
Now Mattson from Erie, Pennsylvania, went to the University of Pittsburgh. Now finds himself pitching for the Pirates. Despite being 29 years old, he is not exactly a veteran. This is only his 21st ever major league appearance. It has been a long, winding road for Mattson. Bases loaded, 2 outs. On the edge, just barely a strike. Next pitch to Julio. He swings and misses. A good one to hit right there. Center cut at 93.
And he said 93 middle of the plate, especially in a 2-1 count.
Mattson 1 pitch away from getting out of a bases loaded jam. Mariners trying to cash in on a 2-2. Julio 0 for 2 with a walk. The next pitch. He got him 94 and elevated. Matson out of the bullpen strikes out Julio and leaves him loaded. The Mariners do grab the lead, however, after 6. A close one, 1-0 Mariners.
It is tough to beat a sunset on the Puget Sound. How gorgeous is that? Even better, the score. The Mariners grab a 1-0 lead. Just an inning or so ago, a very special moment for Kyle and Amber. They are at the ballpark tonight, and they are going to leave engaged. The entire stadium watching this play out on the video board and cheering along as she says yes.
You know what? The game actually was delayed.
How about that?
For about 30 seconds because the crowd was so into it that it overlapped into the start of the inning. Reynolds swings and misses 0-2.
Is that what they're telling friends and family? They even delayed the game.
That's right.
For us.
Castillo pitching with the lead now. The 0-2.
You see that pitch count in good shape. 82 here in the 7th. Gabe Spice starting to throw. Roll up and down the mound a little bit, just in case.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Luke Raley began the game at first base, now in right field. Canzone was lifted for a pinch hitter. That was Solano. So Solano takes over at first. Still 2-2. One strikeout shy of matching a season best. On the ground, Williamson shoulder high hop to first. One away. Castillo has been so good tonight through 6 innings. A closer look at all of his out pitches tonight.
Yeah, he's been really good. And I think, too, look at that fastball dominance, right? So 5 of the 6 strikeouts have been on the fastball, the mix of the 4-seam and the sinker. He's had that really good run at times with that sinker as well.
Facing Nick Gonzalez 0 for 2 tonight. Castillo has gotten 7 innings twice this year. That is his season high. Good velocity tonight as well from Castillo. Gonzalez, the 7th overall pick out of New Mexico State back in 2020.
We talked about this in the beginning of the game. Luis Castillo, that 2nd time through in the games, he's been roughed up a little bit. It's been the big inning in those 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings. But once he's gotten through that 3rd time, man, he has been so dominant. 3rd time through the lineup, opponents hitting 176 with an on base of 250.
Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. In fact, Gonzalez was taken 1 pick after the Mariners selected Emerson Hancock that year. He goes 7th strikeout tonight for Luis Castillo and matches his season best.
I think when you look at this inning to get through the 7th for Luis Castillo, Nick Gonzalez was going to give you the most trouble, especially at this point in the game. He's been really impressive. And that fastball at the top of the zone. Castillo is such a weapon. 7 strikeouts, 6 of them on the heater.
Swing and a miss to O'Neal Cruz on a good changeup. Castillo trying to go 7 innings for the 3rd time this year. Is 1-1. Zips across at 97 miles an hour for a strike.
Velocity is still good too. So approaching 100.
On a 1-2. Now no margin for error tonight for Castillo, pitching with a slim 1-0 lead. Nearing 100 pitches. Two outs, top of the 7th on a 1-2. Now Vargas just got up and began to throw the bullpen. Cruz strikes out a lot, one of the highest strikeout rates in baseball. He also walks quite a bit, one of the higher walk rates in the majors. Strike 3 called. He sears the outer black at 97 miles an hour. A season best 8 strikeouts over 7. Purely dominant innings tonight from Luis Castillo against the Pirates. Mariners scratch from Washington's lottery, and you could be headed to Arizona in 2026 for Mariners spring training. Well, the Mariners have got some pretty dominant starting pitching in this series.
Unreal. From the 2 most consistent guys in this rotation. Brian Wu had some of that run support last night, but Luis Castillo pretty much had 0 runs up into that 6th inning. So what he's done tonight, unreal. But fastball has been so good, 4 and the 2-seamer.
Cal Raleigh leading things off in the bottom of the 7th, fouls it away. He has walked 3 times. Once intentionally. I did not know that a Ryan Langerhans drop would make the telecast tonight.
How about that?
But he is the last Mariner to walk in his first 4 plate appearances in a game. So another milestone.
Former teammate of mine, by the way.
That Cal can reach tonight. Behind 0-2.
You gonna do the graphic with him and Langerhans next to each other, like him and Griffey?
Still 0-2 on Cal. Listen, Matson back out there. He got out of a bases loaded jam of the 6th for the Pirates. Cal sitting on 35 home runs. The 0-2. This is getting into the crowd. There is an audible difference when Cal is batting versus every other hitter in this ballpark.
Have you noticed that before tonight, or is it just sticking out tonight?
It's sticking out tonight in particular.
Really is.
Next home run will be the most ever by a Mariner before the All-Star break. Another 0-2. High and wide. 2 home runs yesterday for Cal Raleigh. leading the majors with 35. He was on and fouls it back.
And he's getting that fastball middle of the plate, something he can handle. Nice, not shying away from going after him.
He's going right after him 6 times, all fastballs. This time he changed the script. A changeup strikes out Cal Raleigh. 1 down. Tonight's T-Mobile coverage cam, Luis Castillo. Brilliant stuff tonight. 7 scoreless, just 2 hits, and after that strikeout to end his night, yes. The Castillo flex and the crowd rising to its feet inside T-Mobile Park.
This is the best 30 feet of walking you can do, let me tell you. You get that big last out, you pretty much know you're done. Finishing on a strikeout.
One out to Randy. And Rosarena has struck out 3 times, all looking. This is on a Cal Raleigh foul ball. Watch the left side of your screen. This has happened now a couple of times this inning. Rosarena walks over, picks the ball up, and chucks it over the screen for a fan.
I love it. Waving off the ball boy.
I mean, the amount of joy and satisfaction that Randy Rosarena gets throwing baseballs into the crowd is second to none.
Yeah, it's the best.
He does it everywhere. Fouled at the plate. Full count now on Randy. Randy homered last night. 13 home runs now this season. 5 of them have come this homestand. Polanco, a chance for his 1,000th hit, waits on deck. Now the Mariners would love to find a way to play a little add-on here. A swing and a miss. Stick around after the game. We'll have Mariners post-game presented by Emerald Queen Casino. Polanco coming to bat here. Polanco doubled his last time up. Sends this foul for strike 1. Activity in both bullpens right now. Matt Brash is hiding over there behind Tony Armich. There's Matt. Matt getting ready to pitch the 8th. Down the line and foul. Nothing in 2.
On that 6th inning, Caleb Ferguson came in to turn Polanco around to the right side. He was able to hit that double down the left field line. That's all she wrote. 1-0. Ben Williamson driving him in.
Don Kelly's got Genesis Cabrera, lefty, warming up in his bullpen. Rayleigh Dew up next. Swinging bunt. Polanco on his way to first. And the side retired. Matson sits down all 4 that he faces after 7, thanks to Luis Castillo. And an RBI double from Ben Williamson. The Mariners lead it 1-0. Luis Castillo was phenomenal tonight. 16 swings and misses.
Yeah, he was really good. You see all those swings and misses on the slider, but it was really, to me, that 4-seam and 2-seam mix, especially late in counts. 7 of the 8 strikeouts against that pitch. He was really good, especially once you got to that 3rd time through the lineup.
And so he matches a season best, 7 innings for the 3rd time, and a new season high 8 strikeouts without issuing a walk. Only 2 hits, both singles. Dominant stuff from Castillo. Matt Brash is on and fires the first pitch fastball to Ke'Bryan Hayes. Our Beacon Plumbing call to the pen.
And you see that ERA, all of that from the first run he gave up last time out against the Royals. Had 19 scoreless outings to start his year.
He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's riding a 12-game hitting streak, trying to extend that. A wave and a miss on a frisbee slider from Matt Brash. That was a UFO that just took off.
Big sweeping slider from Matt Brash. And all about that pitch. Put that extra horizontal on it in 2025. This is a nice little pocket for him too. All righties, dominated right-handed hitters this year.
Here's Tommy Pham. I mean, that last angle we just saw from behind home plate, that's why they swing,
right?
Because it looks like it's coming right down the middle.
Yeah, it's a situation too. Even if you recognize the pitch, you think, all right, I'm on this slider and I can keep that bat path going through that pitch. Then it just takes off even more. It takes an even bigger left turn, and then guess what? You've missed it by a foot. Yeah, that pitch just behaves so differently to any other slider in the game.
Lays off that slider, 2-1. Full count to Tommy Pham. Only a 1-0 lead for the Mariners. Challenged him with 96. Catcher Joey Bart on deck. Walked him. Tying run is aboard. 1-out walk to Pham. Well, the Mariners shut these Pirates out yesterday. That was the 4th straight shutout in which the Pirates were involved. They were on the winning side of the first 3, shutting out the Cardinals in 3 straight games. The last team to be involved with 5 consecutive shutouts. You have to go back to the Braves in 2015 at the very end of the year. Mariners are hoping that the Pirates join that company. Ball 1 to Bart. Pham safe. Borderline pitch. You can see the reaction from Joey Bart, Pirates catcher. He was thinking that was a touch outside. You can understand why. EQC Tracer has it just wide. And now he calls time. Hopefully an umpire is coming out and saying something to Brash.
Yeah, that map just kind of slowed down a little bit.
It's Cuccione. Maybe he was not ready. .98 on the top shelf. Ball and 2 strikes. All of a sudden, Gabe Speier has gotten up inside the Mariners bullpen. You've got Kiner Falefa due up next, then the lefty bat of Horowitz, who has a couple of hits. On the ground, Crawford to his right. Young has it on to first, not in time. Almost an inning-ending double play. The Mariners will check the video. Does not seem like they will challenge, however, and they will not.
Yeah, that ball just took a little bit to get to J.P. Crawford. No chance to get Joey Butt, even though he's not the fastest guy down the line. This is a big out right here. We know about the splits for Matt Brash. Against righties, much more dominant. You got Spencer Horowitz on deck, so Gabe Speier is probably ready to roll for Spencer Horowitz. See if he can finish this inning right here against Isaiah Kiner-Falefa.
Henry Davis is running for Bart at first base, the tying run. Two outs and a man on for Kiner-Falefa. On the ground, Cole Young's got it. Easy play to first. Brash spins his scoreless 8th and maintains a narrow 1-0 lead.
Jen Mueller, and I try really hard not to play favorites, but tonight I can't help it. The giveaway tonight is really sweet. It is a J.P. Crawford basketball jersey. It was given out to the first 15,000 fans at the ballpark. If you missed it, well, don't worry. The Mariners have a lot of giveaway nights ahead, including Aloha Shirt Day on August 2nd and Ichiro Jersey Night on August 8th. Visit mariners.com/promotions for more details. And Aaron, we saw those guys wearing the jerseys in the clubhouse earlier this week. I walked up to Luke Raley and I said, it really does look like you wear that well. Like you could have been that power forward that everybody was afraid of. Nobody disagreed with me.
I think JP was pretty pumped about that giveaway.
That's sweet. I've already requested one.
Here is Luke Raley. Fouls away the first pitch from Dennis Santana, who takes over on the mound.
Having a really good year. You look at some of the numbers. 1.46 ERA ranks 5th among all major league relievers.
He's been good against everybody this year, lefties and righties. That's a fair ball. Takes a big hop to Horowitz, and Raley almost beat it out, but he is out number 1. Well, the Mariners are celebrating the Ichiro Hall of Fame weekend right here at T-Mobile Park in August, starting off with a 2004 replica jersey giveaway on the 8th, thanks to Sato, honoring the night Ichiro set the MLB single season hit record. Mariners.com/Ichiro. 262 hits. That was the number that he finished with in 2004. Are we going to see that one broken ever?
No chance.
Pretty insane number. 1 ball and 1 strike to Solano. I mean, think about what an accomplishment it is to get 200 hits in a season. And Ichiro got 262. Can't even fathom that.
Yeah.
This is driven the opposite way. Reynolds in front of the warning track. Solano's out, number 2. Here comes Williamson, who has driven in the lone run tonight.
That was huge. Little 3-1 pitch, middle of the plate. He's able to drive to right center field against Caleb Ferguson. 2 outs. That's been it all night. 1-0.
You know, if you look at the wild card era, so since 1995, Ichiro has the 2 single best hit seasons, the 262 and then 242 back in 2001 when he broke in. The next closest to Ichiro was Darren Erstad. He had 240 hits for the Angels in 2000. These are the only hitters in baseball with 100 hits, and we are just past the halfway point in terms of games played around baseball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. In more recent times, the closest to Ichiro was Jose Altuve in 2014, 225 hits.
Wow.
Back out Reynolds' way. Retire the side. It's a 1-0 game for Andres Munoz. The Mariners all-star closer is coming in to get the final 3 outs. Our Beacon Plumbing call to the pen. Here he comes, Andres Munoz.
Yeah, this is an epic run from the bullpen. Turn the lights out. Andres Munoz having an unbelievable year. A 23 2/3 innings pitch without giving up an earned run. Longest streak by the Seattle Mariners, but here trying to lock in his 20th save.
At ERA of 1.13, the 3rd lowest of any reliever in baseball. Strike 1, bottom of the zone. First pitch slider to Spencer Horwitz. Munoz with no wiggle room here, protecting a 1-0 lead, facing the top of the order. Nothing in 2.
And the big key for Andres Munoz, land that slider in the strike zone early. Makes such a difference, especially here in a 1-0 lead, like you said, Goldie, with nowhere to go.
He got him, and it wasn't even close.
That slider is so filthy, especially too when there's 2 versions of it, right? The one that's inside the strike zone that he can land, and then what happens is you get that swing on that pitch right there, well outside the strike zone, against a guy like Spencer Horwitz. Pretty disciplined.
McCutcheon, the batter, 1 out. Whoa. On guard. I mean, you don't see a guy like McCutcheon take too many swings like that. Wow.
Again, back to that slider, 0-1. You got 2 options right here. You can go back-to-back on a slider or tie him up with a sinking fastball inside.
Good night. Back-to-back strikeouts on 6 pitches for Munoz.
Man, this is nasty. Yes, it's inside the strike zone, but man, when you're trying to protect against 100 and that slider, you look foolish off on the 2 pitches before that. Good luck.
Still just a 1-0 game. Here is Brian Reynolds. Strike 1 at 100. Not all is lost. One and two. In the air, shadow left, Arozarena. Ball game. The Mariners win it 1-0, and they have shut out the Pittsburgh Pirates for the second consecutive game.
Yeah, first of all, Luis Castillo was outstanding tonight. Once he got to that third time through the lineup, it was game over. Fastball was exceptional, good velocity on that pitch, and just enough in that sixth inning. They were down to 2 outs, and then Ben Williamson at the bottom of that lineup comes through big with that double into the right center gap, and then Matt Brash and Andres Munoz, probably the best he's looked. Honestly, nastiest he's looked all year long in Andres Munoz.
I mean, it's wild how cruel this game can be. The Pirates come to town. They get in the series yesterday, and they were flying high. They had won a season best 6 in a row, and they had won their last 3 games, remarkably, in shutout form.
Right.
They shut out the Cardinals in 3 consecutive games. And what has happened since they have arrived here? They have been on the other side of the script. The Mariners have blanked the Pirates for the second consecutive day.
Yeah, they finally got that offense going, and again, we're coming into this series, you didn't quite know what you were going to get, what you were going to face from this Pirates team. But man, what a huge game too, knowing that you got Paul Skeens, you're up against one of the game's best tomorrow.
Had to get this one today. It is Kirby versus Skeens tomorrow. We're on the air at 12:30. First pitch is at 1:10. The Mariners will be going for a series sweep. It should be a dynamite game tomorrow. It'll be the final home game before the All-Star break for the Mariners. And then it's off to New York and Detroit after that. Mariners pitching holds the Pirates to all of 2 hits in this one. A 1-0 Mariners win, following a 6-0 win last night. Down to the field. There she is, Jen.
All right, Jorge, why was it so difficult to get something to hit off of tonight's starter Burrows?
He was missing his pitch really good. He was getting ahead with his breaking ball and then trying to use the fastball. But we still take good at bats against him. Things didn't go well, but we take advantage of the reliever.
Yeah, you did. So what changed when you got a chance to see the guys out of the bullpen?
The momentum of the team, new pitcher trying to approaching really good, trying to get a good pitch to hit.
At what point did you realize, with the way Luis was throwing, that it was going to be a low-scoring game and 1 run was all you would need?
Oh, I knew it since he was warming up. The way he just prepared every time he's going to pitch, I know he's going to give us something really good. We just knew it.
But was there something different about Luis tonight from the get-go?
No, I think it's just the way he warm up, just the way he concentrates, just the way he focuses when he's going to start. I think anytime he takes the mound, we think he's going to perform really good.
Well, I hope that this is part of a very happy birthday celebration for you.
Oh, yeah, it is. Thank you.
There you go. He is going to continue the celebrating. The Mariners take game 2 against the Pirates. Luis Castillo spun a gem. We are hoping to hear from the starter in our post game when we go inside the clubhouse and get reaction to this Mariners 1-0 win over the Pittsburgh Pirates.